All right, so I just want to show you quickly what chopping is and layering and filtering kind of all coming in to themselves. So check this out. This is a little Moments record. I believe Jay Dilla sampled something from it. It's a soul record. I got it queued up on the turntable. I'm gonna play that this little bit for you. You can just check it out. Real slow, soul song. Now, if I spin that back, I want to record it at 45. So recording at 45 means just 45 BPM or revolution, or excuse me, RPM on my turntable, and it's gonna speed it up. Just turn that down a little bit. It's a little bit better. All right, so to play for you the samples that I used here. I did a whole ton of a whole bunch of stuff, but I'll try to bring up the original sample. That's chops. Let's see here. All right, here we go. All right, so you can hear this is the sample. Now I sampled it at 45 RPM, so it's much faster. Now here's something that's pretty dope. I know I had mentioned when I was talking about the SB1200, what people would do is sample on 45 and detune it down 5 semitones. So if you check this out right here, right, here's the original sample sped up. All right, so that's the original sample sped up. Now check this out. I'm gonna just tune it down 5 semitones, and it's gonna play exactly how it would normally at 33 RPM. Check it out. I just pitched it down 5 semitones. But anyways, I'm gonna put that back to 0. Okay. I got my dog down here freaking out. Always with the fucking animals. Anyways, so if I go back to my main shit, I'll play for you how I chopped it up. And when I talk about chopping, I took that sample, that main sample, and I broke it into all these pieces. Ready? So how I have it chopped up? Jeez, whoo. How I got this chopped up, the original sample is. I got little filters on those. All right, so I chopped it up into little sounds, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go in and into my sequencer. I already have all this done. I'm gonna mute out some stuff. Okay, so it's just my drums. Okay, now check it out. This is chopping. You know, I got it chopped, and so now I want to play it back in a melody. So. Ooh. Okay. So that's how I played the sample. So if I unmute this, all right, so you just hear that's. Now, one of the things that I did on this too, and you know, you can, I'm gonna unmute that. I'm just gonna play my chops. These are the chops that I just played for you live, with no drums. Okay, and you can hear them there. Now the thing is you know, I need some bass to that. You know, so the one way that I did this is, and I'll play you the bass line right here. This bass line is essentially the same pads hitting the same order, but I filtered it just like, you know, the Pete Rock side. Okay, so you can hear a little bit of the singing and all that in there, but it's kind of dope. It gives it like a nice effect. So check this out. I could just play it with mute the main loop and just so you can hear the bass line. And then I'll unmute the main loop. All right, so you can just kind of get a flavor of, you know, how I created some oomph to that. Again, so I have a whole bunch of programs in here. I have like my loop program. I have a program that has all my my bass loops, all that stuff, you know. So now that's the one way you can do a bass line. You just filter out all the highs and keep the low end in your program. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. I did all sorts of things in this loop, you know, like with my drums. So if I go and just look at my drums and I go into my my program here, you can see all sorts of stuff that I did here. I got, what you can see, and maybe you can't see till I push in, is my snare actually sounds like this, but here's how I made it sound. And what I did is I added a layer with a clap on it. So let me find where that clap is.
Let's go!
That clap sound right there, I layered that with my snare and I manipulated it so it sounds like this. Gives it like that snap to it. Okay, and then my kick, I did the same exact thing with my kick. This is the kick, the original kick sound. Okay, and what I did is I layered it with, so I layered this with this bass end, and I filtered this. So if we look, all I do to filter is the same thing. It's a Pete Rock thing, and just start. All right. But I layered the kick I use with just a 808 thud. Now the other thing you can do to make your drums sound dope. You can change, you pitch down your snares. I have that pitched down one semitone, and that gives you, you know, it just makes your drums sound so dope, so much better when you layer them out. I mean, we went from to and from to, and that gives you. That's my snare. I didn't do much of that. Maybe pulled out the low end of that, pitched it down a little bit. And if I go and look at my filters, yeah, I did cut out a little bit of the low end on that. Because what a kick is your bass of your drums, the snares, your midtones, and your hi-hats are your high end. And you don't want those to be overlapping a lot of one another because it muddies your sound. It makes it sound like shit. So, you know, you want your low, mid, and high end to have separation. And you can do that by filtering out, you know, the low end of your snare, the high end of your kick, you know, layer your kicks, your drums. So that's what programming is in terms of building a drum program. And then how you play that back. You know, whatever. It's kind of hard to do with a fucking big camera in front of the thing. Now, I'm going to show you something else that's kind of dope. So the one way you can do the bass line is, as I showed you, and I'll just solo that again so you can hear that bass loop. In it. Now, I'm going to mute that out. Now, you can see my pads here got stickers on it. And I got that on my other joint too. Now, what these stickers basically do, for me, because I'm not very musical, is they basically, you know, these are different scales. I can't remember. One's, I think, chromatic, one's pentatonic when I hit the pads, but I'll break that down in a second for you. So the other way you can do a bass line is this way. So we have no bass line in this, but I got this. Okay, that's just a bass note. And I could, let's see. Okay, so now check it out. Like, what I want to try to do for this is a couple things. I want to try to tune it so when I play that note, it sounds kind of like my main sample. So, okay, so like a couple things I did here, just so you can see, is I put a filter, a low end filter on that, so it takes out a lot of the high end. So I'll turn it off. That's how it originally sounds. Actually, how it originally sounds is like this. No filter on it. Auto save. And it's lower, right? That's the same bass note, right? But I pitched it down, and I'll show you basically, you know, well, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? I pitched it up, excuse me. So if I play my loop, I want my bass note to kind of be in the similar type of key as my main loop. So okay, so I kind of got it sounding kind of like your main part of your sample. You want it just to kind of sound similar. Some people play like a keyboard to try to get it more on point. I just ain't that musical. I just kind of go by ear. Okay, now if I go back to, now once I got it tuned, right, I go in my filter and I apply a low pass to that, so it sounds like that. Okay, now here's the dope thing that you can do with the MPC is, in most, most sampler sequencers, right, is I can basically spread this note out to all the pads, and so I can play different scales with it. So check out what this will do, right? I hit this button, it's called 16 level. I have my bass note selected, right? I'm gonna set it to tune. You can do it to velocity too, so as you hit these, the sound gets louder, whatever. But if you go to tune, check this out. Always this is going to be your original sound. It's going to be this pad. It's going to be how the sound actually sounds without a scale. So here would be your scale. Look at the green green stickers. Okay, and then the white stickers. Okay, now check this out. Okay, if I go back to my shit, and now I could record a bass line. Check this out. Ready? Oops. Ready? Now check it out. I could actually record this if I wanted to track. I just got to find an open track, right? So here's an open track. I got to assign the right program to it, which I have this on my drum program. Now check this out. I'm gonna just record this here, and we'll get a little bass line. Oh, hold on. So check it out. I mean, it's not perfect, just fucking around. It's actually not sparse enough for me. Now, what actually made that really horrible is that I had my quantization on. So if I turn that off, check this out. We'll try it. We'll try it one more time. Oops. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's just check that out. All right, so yeah, that just gives you a little bit of a flavor of some of the things that you can do. Again, I'm just messing around here. Not going too hard, with any of it, but just kind of want to give you a sense of some of the possibilities here, different ways that you can do your programming and all that. Programming here, how you manipulate the information on the pads, as you saw me doing, layering stuff, changing pitches, filtering, and then how you actually play that stuff back. And what was really essential there, when I did that last bass line, was that I re-recorded it without the quantization on, because again, the quantization will only let me snap to certain parts on that grid, and when I turn that off, I can play that. I mean, it's kind of like, whatever, like you can just, be as creative as you can once you figure out what all this shit is. All right. Anyways, that's just the flavor here. Give you a few lessons on some stuff. I got my kid crying for me upstairs. I should not be down here. Good dad. All right, y'all.